Assalamualaikum. In this episode, we analyze a problem that relates buoyancy and density. Given the true weight of a rock and its weight when submerged in water and when submerged in an unknown liquid, we are to compute the density of the unknown liquid, so just stick around, watch there. The question is, a rock is suspended by a light string. When the rock is in air, the tension in the string is 39.2 newtons. When the rock is totally immersed in water, the tension is 28.4 newtons. When the rock is totally immersed in an unknown liquid, the tension is 21.5 newtons. What is the density of the unknown liquid? We are given the tension in the string when the rock is still in the air. It is equal to 39.2 newtons. When the rock is submerged in water, the tension reads 28.4 newtons. And when the same rock is submerged in an unknown liquid, the reading or tension is 21.5 newtons. And our target variable is the density of the unknown liquid. Moving on to our computation, we take note that the given tension in the string when the rock is still in the air, 39.2 newtons, is also the true weight of the rock, labeled as small w. So in our diagram, we identify the three vertical forces acting on the rock. We have the force exerted by the string pulling the rock upward. Okay, we call it the tension in the string, labeled T sub W, and it is equal to 28.4 newtons. Sometimes this is also called the apparent weight of the rock. Apparent meaning when it is submerged in the water. So it's not the true weight, but simply the apparent weight. Of course, the actual weight of the rock or the force of gravity directed downward, also labeled here as the tension, capital T, sub air, right? And of course, the upward force of the water on the rock, known as the buoyant force, labeled here as capital F sub B1. Now, since the rock is in static equilibrium, all right, that is, the sum of the upward forces must be equal to the downward force. And since what we want is an equation for the buoyant force F sub B1, okay, we come up with this formula. The force F sub B1, or the buoyant force exerted by water on the rock, is just equal to the tension in the string, T of air, minus the tension in the string, T of water. In other words, okay, the difference between the actual weight of the rock and the apparent weight of the rock when it is submerged in water, okay, gives us the value of the buoyant force exerted by water. So when we substitute, we get the buoyant force of water on the rock equal to 39.2 newtons minus 28.4 newtons. That is, the buoyant force of water on the rock, okay, has a magnitude 10.8 newtons and is exerted upward. Earlier, we said that the buoyant force exerted by water on the rock is also equal to the weight of the water displaced. So the weight of the water displaced, of course, is equal to the mass of the water displaced times acceleration due to gravity. And we come up with the formula for computing the buoyant force exerted by water on the rock, denoted here by capital F sub B1 equal to the density of water times the volume of the water displaced. All right? Density times volume, as we know, is the mass. And multiplying it by G, we have the complete formula for determining the buoyant force exerted by water on the rock. But since what we are interested here is to find the volume of the water displaced, right? When the rock is fully submerged in the water, V of W, or the volume of water displaced, is also equal to the volume of the rock. So transposing and isolating V sub W, we have the buoyant force F sub B1 divided by the density of water rho sub W times acceleration due to gravity G. So when we substitute, we have the buoyant force of the water on the rock, earlier computed 10.8 newtons, and then divided by the constant density of water equal to 1.00 raised to the third power kilogram per meter cubed, and then multiplied by G, which is 9.80 meters per second squared. So when you do our math, we find the volume of the water displaced equal to 1.10 raised to the negative 3 meter cubed. And we emphasize that this volume of the water displaced is also equal to the volume of the rock, since the rock is totally submerged in the water. For the buoyant force exerted by the unknown liquid on the rock, we also use the formula F sub B2 equal to the tension when the rock is still in the air minus the tension when the rock is already submerged in the liquid. That is, F sub B2 equals 39.2 newtons minus 21.5 newtons. So we get the value of the buoyant force exerted by the unknown liquid on the rock equal to 17.7 newtons, also in three significant figures. And using the conceptual definition of buoyant force, which is simply the weight of the displaced liquid. And then that weight of the displaced liquid has been derived, all right, in terms of the buoyant force exerted by the liquid on the rock. And that is F sub B2 equal to the density of the liquid multiplied by the volume of the liquid displaced and acceleration due to gravity. Since what we want is the density of the liquid, so we just isolate and come up with this formula for finding the density of the liquid. That is equal to the buoyant force F sub B2 divided by the product of the volume of the displaced liquid and acceleration due to gravity. So substituting the given quantities, F sub B2, which is 17.7 Newton, divided by 1.10 raised to the negative 3 meter cube. This is the volume of the liquid displaced, and then multiplied by acceleration due to gravity, 9.80 meter per second squared. Multiplying the quantities in the denominator, we get 10.78 raised to the negative 3 meter to the fourth power per second squared. And simplifying further, we finally get the density of the unknown liquid equal to 1.64 times 10 to the third power kilogram per meter cubed. So obviously, the density of the unknown liquid is greater than that of the water, which is only 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. And as implied in this formula for buoyant force, okay, we can infer that the higher the density of any liquid, okay, at constant volume of the liquid displaced, okay, we say that the greater the density of the liquid, okay, the greater is the buoyant force that it can exert on any solid that is immersed or submerged in the said liquid. For instance, the buoyant force exerted by this unknown liquid on the rock is 17.7 newtons. So compared to the buoyant force exerted by water on the same rock, which is equal to 10.8 newtons, obviously, that of the unknown liquid is greater, right? So we say that density of the liquid and the buoyant force that it can exert are directly proportional. And that ends our lesson for this topic. Till the next episode, mabuhay. Mashallah. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Please don't forget to subscribe